Hello, my name is Tom Bailey, TV, radio, and broadcast teacher here at Northside High School. And we are actually doing the very first sports feature for our new show called The Legendary Ledger. It is a podcast format. And our first sports guests of the year and of our entire existence are Coach Ethan Hirschy to the left. Thanks for coming today, Coach.
How's it going? Thank you.
And to the right is Senior Byron Oliva.
What's up?
All right, so I'm going to start with Coach Hirschy. It's been a pretty successful season because you've had higher numbers than I've seen in the past. What's going on with that?
Yeah, we definitely have tried to get more kids out, talking with all the other sports. This is the first year that we've had a girls team, and we just had our first girl qualifier for state. We have 3 other girls on the team. We're just trying to build the numbers through girls and boys wrestling.
Yeah, I noticed that, so that's a pretty cool thing. So Byron, what weight class do you wrestle at?
106 pounds.
And what's your record this year?
Right now it's 23 wins and 1 loss.
Holy cow, that is a great record. What do you attribute your success to?
Just training every day. My coaches, my teammates, my sparring partners, everybody in that room.
Okay. Well, so what do you think has been one of your biggest challenges this year while you've been wrestling?
One of the biggest challenges I would say leadership, with everybody else, making sure they're on track. But for me, on the mat, I would say just being match ready, being focused, all that.
Okay. So Coach Hirschy, how long you been the wrestling coach here at Northside?
This is my 3rd year as the head coach, and then I was an assistant before there.
Okay, so in these 3 years, you got to coach Byron because he started as a sophomore.
Yep.
What do you think has been some of the biggest ways in which he's grown as a wrestler?
Just wrestling in the off season, coming out, trying hard every day. He's really mastered his double leg and single leg, and that's the exact thing that I've always asked him to do. Just having that offensive attack, and when he does that, that's what creates success.
Excellent. So, Byron, you were also the recipient of the Don Hunter Award. What was the Don Hunter?
The Don Hunter Award. So Don Hunter was a coach here, and he's a really respected guy, and he just brought all the different attributes to the wrestling program. So it's more than just being good. It's about being good in the classroom, being good as a person, and just a well-rounded individual. So I felt like last year Byron was one of our leaders again, so he got that for the first time.
Excellent. Well, as it turns out, I happen to know Don Hunter, too, because I had been coaching football and basketball here from 2010 to 2012, and that was with Coach Ryan Hall and with basketball coach Khalik. And Don Hunter was at everything. And he was a fixture of Northside High School, and he filled in a lot of positions as far as math and stuff when we needed subs. But he was a great coach. So you've won an award with this legend. What does it feel like?
It feels like I accomplished something. I would say that.
Okay. Well, you've got some challenges coming up. Byron, I'll start with you. What are you looking forward to as we reach the end of the wrestling season?
Having a deep run, hopefully making the state and making hopefully I can place or even win.
So you had that one loss. Do you think you'll see that wrestler again?
Oh yeah, most definitely. Yeah, regionals.
All right. Was it close?
Yeah, last time it was close.
All right. Well, I wish you good luck on that. Coach Hirschy, what are you looking forward to as we come toward the end of the season? I know you got Woodland coming out, and what else?
Yep, we got the Woodland invite coming up on Saturday, and then we have the conference coming up, and then sectionals. And we're hoping to push at least 5 of our kids to the regional and semi-state level, which would be amazing.
Well, I appreciate you guys coming out tonight. Thank you, Coach Hirschy.
Yep, thank you.
And Byron, good luck. Thank you for coming today.
You're welcome.
And this is Tom Bailey signing off for the Legendary Ledger. I appreciate everybody tuning in today and wish Coach Hirschy and the entire wrestling team good luck, and good luck to Byron Oliva. Thank you for tuning in today. One of the recurring features that we're going to be having on the show is known as the Teacher Feature. And so our first 2 guests on the Legendary Ledger are going to be Miss Erin Baumgartner.
Hello.
And Mr. Joe Carter.
Hello, everyone.
And both of them teach in the social studies department. I'm going to start with Joe Carter because I've known you for a while because we used to teach at Elmhurst together. So you teach social studies here. What classes do you teach?
So I teach honors world history and then integrated world history.
Okay, and you're also the soccer coach, boys soccer coach.
Boys soccer, yes.
How did that go this past year?
We had a pretty good season. Our team was very young.
Okay.
And so there was a lot of growth that needed to happen. And anytime you play with young players, you're going to have good moments and you're going to have bad moments. And we had a little bit of each, but, we have a lot of good freshmen and a lot of good sophomores. And so we're looking forward to the future.
Excellent. Now, speaking of soccer, Miss Erin Baumgartner was also the girls soccer coach for a while here. What all do you teach here?
I teach psychology. That's kind of my main focus. It is a dual credit class, so it's kind of exciting. And then I also have principles of teaching this year, which is a new class, relatively new, although you have taught that as well.
I don't know if I taught it successfully, but I've taught it before.
And then as far as being a social studies teacher, I have taught a lot of different classes over the years at Northside.
What's it like, 14 different classes in the last 10 years?
That's the nature of being an electives teacher. I get to have a lot of the fun classes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Erin, you've been here since the lead process, as has Joe Carter. So we're like part of the lead process. We've been here since 2010-11 school year. What have been some of your greatest successes at teaching here at Northside?
Oh, my goodness. Well, again, getting to be an electives teacher is neat because it opens me up to a wide variety of students with a lot of different interests. And so I'd say just getting to do activities that are maybe a little outside the box with my students, like getting to take them places. I've taken kids to plays after school, IPFW's lecture series classes. I took a group of students to China. So I just think getting to be with students, not just in the classroom, but outside the classroom has been one of the coolest things I've gotten to do while here.
Man, that's neat that you got to do that. Joe, from your perspective, Mr. Carter.
I think getting to know a lot of the students' different backgrounds. I went to a Catholic school my entire life, so getting to teach in a public school has certainly changed the way that I look at things and look at the world and look at these kids. And so I would say that's one of the biggest things that, basically making myself a better person, making myself more empathetic towards other people and their beliefs and their thoughts. I think that has been, for me, something that's been very priceless with teaching at Northside High School.
Well, that brings me kind of on to some things that are going on in our school. But we've had a lot of teachers leave recently, and it is because this place can be an exceptional challenge. And you cited some of your experiences with, expanding your horizons and relating with students that are different than probably your own background. What have been some of the challenges from your perspective of teaching here at Northside's high school, especially given, too, that we've had some times where it was get results or die, So what are some of your experiences?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely been tough, and there have been a lot of ups and downs. And so I think, for me, it's been very hard to stay kind of even keel because you do get caught up in those, emotional moments of teaching and, seeing students who fail and things along those lines. And you try your best and you do everything that you can and you make, all the phone calls and the contacts and you do everything. And that's hard. I think that's the hardest part for me is, seeing students who are choosing to, kind of go down the wrong path a little bit, and sometimes there's not a whole lot you can do to keep them from going down that path.
Yeah, I experienced that a lot in my classes as well, and some of them they test you to see if you care, and that's an added stressor to working here sometimes.
Yeah.
Ms. Baumgartner, same question for you. What have been some of the biggest challenges you faced as a teacher?
I agree with Mr. Carter a lot, just with, sometimes some of the issues our students have to deal with at home sometimes spill over into Northside, and I always want my students to feel like this is a safe place for them to be, that my classroom is going to be a place where they can know that they are cared about, because I do care about my kids. And so I call them my kids. But I think that's more than anything I want them to be. I want this to be a home for them, and that they know they can come here, that we're going to push them, that they need to get their work done. They need to do the best that they can and keep going harder to get better. And so I just hope that they know that they can trust their teachers and that we're here for them.
Well, it's funny that you said that, like, my kids. You know, I worked at Elmhurst, and, you know, one time I had a conflict with a couple of teachers that were working there because I said, these are my kids in my classroom, and you're going to leave them alone, because they were doing some things that I didn't agree with. And one of the reasons why I love Northside High School is I feel like I have a sense of ownership. And one of the reasons I wanted to talk to you two is because you guys have certainly impacted the culture of this building in many ways, whether it was athletics or how you did it in the classroom. And so I wondered your guys' thoughts on this idea of, you know, owning the way that students see our school, owning the results, owning, you know, the fact that this is a safe place, and this isn't just a job, it's more like a quest, so to speak. It's more of a calling. And so from your perspective, what are your thoughts along those lines? Anybody want to take the lead on that question?
I think that's one of the reasons that I've been here the longest. I like the challenge. I like having the battle per se every day. You know, it takes a special teacher to work here, to go through, you know, a lot of the things that the teachers have to go through on a regular basis. But I think that I feel like since the lead process, I feel like I'm such a part of this, and it's a part of me and who I am. And so that's a lot of the reason that I've been here for so long and haven't gone other places, because I feel that ownership and that connection with Northside High School. Even though I didn't go to high school here, I mean, I consider this to be, you know, Erin used the term this is my school too, and this is kind of who I connect with and what I'm a part of.
Well, it's one of the reasons why we have the legendary ledger is I wanted we went from zero to something in basically a year and a half, and so I have a chip on my shoulder over the fact that this is my program as part of Northside High School, and this is, you know, I used to coach sports, and that was one way that I used to impact the conversation here to help students want to be successful. And the legendary ledger and the television radio broadcast program is now that next extension of my scratch on this. But Erin, we'll end it with you. Like, you know, what is your ownership? Why do you stay here? You know, what is it about Northside that you really look forward to or being part of?
Oh, the students, hands down. As we've all attested, some days it's more difficult than others, but honestly, they have big hearts. Northside is a giving population of students that want to do good things for other people, and I think many of them want and know that their teachers are here for them, that the staff is here for them, and that they want to show up for that. They're going to test us, like you mentioned, but I think at the end of the day, that's who I think about when I'm like planning my lessons and thinking of activities to do is who am I going to impact today? Like, can I possibly inspire somebody to try something new, step out of their comfort zone? And then also my coworkers. Like, social studies department's a pretty tight-knit group of people. And not just social studies, but like, I just think, you know, we've been here a while, you've been here a while, and I think that builds a special bond between us. And so I think it's the people just in general.
Absolutely.
Well, we often say that kids don't care what you know, they want to know how much you care. And I want to thank both of you. Erin, thank you.
Thanks for having me.
And Mr. Carter.
Glad to be here.
Thank you for coming out today. And we're going to be doing more of these types of features where we feature teachers, and we're going to have a discussion about, you know, some of the various topics that we've already covered, and, you know, why Northside High School actually has the best faculty on the entire planet. But thank you for tuning in, and stay tuned to the Legendary Ledger moving forward. Thank you. Hello, my name is Mr. Tom Bailey, TV radio broadcast teacher here at Northside High School, and welcome again to the Legendary Ledger. Our segment today is actually about the television and radio broadcast program. Here at Northside, we have kind of resurrected it in the last couple of years, and the point of this is for me to introduce to you two students who've been outstanding television and radio broadcast students, and to kind of reminisce about how things have begun and how this program can affect people and how it's really helped me as a teacher. So I have two guests today, and to the left is Mr. Jonathon Cole,
Hi.
and to the right is Mr. Thomas Heaston.
Hello.
All right, so we began offering this program on a whim at the beginning of last year during COVID, which was a great idea. And I'm not using any irony whatsoever. But yes, I am using irony. But we offered this program, and you guys were foolish enough to sign up for it or were put into the class. Be honest, Jonathon. Were you put into the class or did you sign up for it?
I signed up for it.
Okay, that's good. Thomas?
I signed up for it.
Oh, well, that explains everything. So, so with that said, Jonathon, what kind of skills have you learned in this class? What kind of experiences have you had that have been helpful to you?
The skills that have been helpful with me are editing music and like final products of like things that you had us do, which was like really helpful because it like shows you like what you can and can't do, and you really taught us a lot.
So, did you have experience with those things before, or was this like brand new to you?
That was the first time I've done something with it.
Okay, Thomas, you signed up for the class, and you wanted it. So, what kinds of things did you learn and experience in this class?
I learned a lot about video editing, which I was really excited about getting into that. And then I learned how to better compose myself on camera and how to deliver myself to a camera a lot better.
Well, with that said, you guys have both worked live streams. What do you think has been one of your favorite events? I'll start with Thomas this time. What has been one of your favorite events?
One of my favorite event, there was a basketball game that we did this year where me and John were able to run color commentary, probably on the second or third event we'd ever run together. That one was great, but the special place in my heart is always going to be for the first live streamed game at Lures.
And we're gonna come back to that here in a minute there.
Yes,
but
we are.
Jonathon, you also enjoyed that JV basketball game a lot. What stood out to you?
The color commentary that me and Thomas did, and like just the camera work and everyone that like showed up to help us with it, because we really, if we didn't have enough people, we wouldn't have been able to do it. So the like everyone that came out and like supported, it was really nice.
Well, and that's we should give a shout out to Kenny Hill, who came
and Madison Fisher.
Madison Fisher, yeah, she ran the camera. Kenny did a nice job on the computer part of things, and that's like that can be the most nerve wracking, as our own producer right now can attest.
Take two.
So we alluded to the Bishop Lures game from not this past season, but the one before. Just a little bit of context for this particular story. We didn't have any cameras given to us. We had no equipment, no tripods, no like even software to edit or broadcast or anything. And the learning curve for me as a teacher was exceptionally steep. And up to that point, I had gotten training, and I want to give a shout out to Mr. Tim Moriarty of Fort Wayne Community Schools and LTV, because he gave me the foundation and the background to learn how things work. Even though he didn't teach me everything I know, he really got me thinking about things that allowed me to learn an awful lot as a result. And he brought to my attention that there was what was known as a CFAB grant, and they still have it. And in order for us to get $3,000 to buy some actual equipment, we had to produce content on the fly then and there. So Thomas and a crew of my people, we ended up going to Bishop Lures High School with my personal computer, because I can install software on my own stuff, my own 2009 crusty Sony Handycam, my plastic tripod, a USB microphone that I've been using for about 15 years, and we hooked everything up in the cold of a October night at Bishop Lures Field. And Thomas shows up in a T-shirt. and when we get to the point where we're actually doing color commentary, the sun has gone down and it's 32 degrees out. What was it like doing color commentary for that game while you were shivering?
It was colder than 32. I think it got down to like 26 or something. It was the coldest night of like the month, because it had been warm up to that point. But I remember showing up and walking, and it was a warm day, so I wasn't worried. I was wearing a T-shirt and shorts, what I'd worn to school. And I remember your face when you saw me, you just like your eyes widened. You're like, "That's it? That's what you're wearing? You got a jacket or something?" And I'm like, "No."
Yeah, I mean, at least Cameron Miller had his freshman football jersey on while he was doing the camera work there, right?
Yeah.
And then as it turns out, Bishop Luers came back and beat us at the end, and you got to do the color commentary for a huge upset.
Oh yeah, it was painful. It really was. A lot of times, because my background on color commentary, I used to I would talk over Madden games whenever I'd play them, because I've always been into color commentary. But actually calling a loss that meant something to us was painful.
Yeah, and there was that was the week of Theo Redmond's passing, so that was heavy in the hearts and minds of the entire Northside community. So they really wanted to win, and I think that emotional drain also had to hurt us a bit, because I think we play Lures any other week that year, we hammer them. We just weren't there mentally, and understandably so. But at least we got that thing recorded, and we got it up on LTV, and we got the first $3,000 to purchase equipment and things like that. So you guys did a nice job with that. You and Cameron, I mean, it was cold, but we did it.
And then a few weeks later, I regained feeling in my hands. So.
Oh, yeah.
Crazy.
So, Jonathon, what do you intend to take away from this class?
Everything.
Okay, like for college, what were you thinking about?
I kind of want to go into photography, but that doesn't still mean I can't do this. Like if there's a class that needs like someone to do this, I already know what to do.
Mm-hmm. Well, and the other part is a lot of times photography by itself isn't the answer. You got to have
you got to have like a background with stuff.
Yeah, music and other types of editing. Thomas, what has been one of your big takeaways from being involved in this program?
One of my big takeaways, video editing. One of the best things that you can learn to do.
I just wish we had more opportunities for you guys to do it. Unfortunately, you guys' student computers are not built to run Adobe Premiere. And that has been a huge negative. But I'm working on that.
We're getting it figured out.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So the reason I had you guys on the show is I just wanted to let you know my sense of gratitude for the time you've put in from doing the newscast last year and all the think about that. Were you in the sessions when like the video camera would freeze?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And then you'd have us freeze there, and then you'd go do that scene, and they'd have to like match it perfectly, and then you'd say go. It was just a lot, and then the bells ringing in the middle of everything was torture.
and then you guys would leave class, and I would be very quickly trying to hack together the video timeline in Adobe Premiere.
You'd stay after like while we all left and just try to get it all to like look like it's one.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. My English 10 class that I was teaching virtually, third period, which was after you guys, didn't see me usually until about 20 minutes into the class period starting because of how jacked up it was. So, but in either case, Thomas, I want to thank you because of everything you've contributed to this program, the color commentary, being a willing learner. Same thing with you, Jonathon Cole. If I had all classes with students like you, we'd never have an achievement problem. We'd all be like running this stuff. So I just want to let you know that I'm appreciative of what you guys have brought to the table.
Happy to be here. Happy to do it. I want to thank you real quick because you brought this entire program up from
scratch.
Yeah, from what you had at home.
And now look at us.
A free program, what you had, like the equipment that you had at home, and a bunch of high schoolers that are all just standing there like, okay, what do we do?
Right. They can't wait to look at their phones. That's what it is. Well, like I said, we wouldn't have this stuff if it hadn't been for you guys' contributions. And we're looking to expand this program. We're looking to get more equipment and to make things a lot smoother. But we wouldn't have a legendary ledger without these two students. So I just want to give a shout out. And I also want to recognize the Northside High School Alumni Association because they were actually the first grant givers to our program. They helped us purchase some equipment, and we were honored to live stream their executive board meeting in the fall of 2020. So that's a shout out to Elizabeth Sherman and Mr. Mike Morris. And on top of that, too, the greater Northside community that has really contributed to this, followed the Northside High School Legends YouTube channel and the like. And who knows, we might feature you on the Legendary Ledger before too long. So thank you for tuning in today, and we're going to go to our next segment.